guys doing? This is my show. My name is Gold, and I'm bringing you another episode of my show. I'm gonna have some better music on tomorrow. I'm just trying to figure all the kinks and everything that I have to make it a better show. I have some more entertaining music that I might have to go see about if I can have on here, and I'll get a better name for my show. So I'll be more entertaining tomorrow and the days after that. But today I wanted to bring a subject of what have we accepted as a community in these days. And the thing that I'm saying accepting is not like just accept it. I mean, basically, let me break it down to you. We as a community back in the day had right and wrong. I put this on my Facebook as a post. I didn't get many likes, so I see that a lot of people looked at it but didn't care about it. We as a community had right and wrong. But as time went along, a lot of people stopped caring that it was wrong and decided that they were going to do it anyways. And as it became a normal act, it was the norm. So now it was not about if it was right or wrong, it was about how we were going to accept it as a community. And there's a lot of things that we decided that we were going to treat that way because it was becoming a big thing. It was becoming something that some things that people were defending, people would fight you against it and say that you are wrong. People would um, actually, downgrade you for speaking against it. And I'm not going to go into every, subject that they did that to or they're doing that to today. But I'm going to go to the ones that I feel are going to, we should look at to become a better community. Um, Back in the day, used to have TV shows on TV that used to talk about family values. The Cosby Show, Family Matters, Home Improvement, The Wonder Years, Saved by the Bell. Shows like that that used to have family values. They used to show, mom and dad, and they would have the kids have the adventures, and would show like these are what kids should stay away from. And when you went to school, they would have, Dare and other programs that would show you like these are not what we're supposed to do. These are right and these are wrong. So we had a right and we had wrong, and the wrong is the things that we were not accepting in our culture, in our community. They said these are not the things that we as kids are going to accept in our community. The parents were saying that on TV, like these are things that you're not going to do. But as time went along, those shows actually exited off of TV, and a lot of other shows were replaced. And as much as I can love today's shows, they don't have the same type of values that we were being taught back in the day on TV. And they don't have the same type of values in school that we were taught back in our day. A lot of things were like drugs. If you were on drugs, any type of drugs, they didn't care. They didn't care what type of drug it was. You were a junkie, and those were the people that you stayed away from. They were known as the people that were on something that changed the way their mind worked, and we didn't want kids to do that. We wanted kids to use their whole mind sober in the way that it's supposed to be used. I think we need more of those TV shows and cartoons with the last 5 minutes of the show. They were jumping on there with you know um, they were jumping on the end of the show, and they would have a message at the end of it. I remember watching Power Rangers. In the last 5 minutes, there was something that they were trying to teach you not to do, You know, if this happens, go tell this person, or you know, stay away from drugs. Say no to this person about going to hang out with them to do drugs. Stay away from this person if they're doing that. Like there was messages with these shows, and I think we should make more shows to bring that back. Captain Planet, you know, helping to save the community, helping to help to save the environment. There was actual messages at the end of the show, so you were entertained, and after you were entertained came the message of what we were actually trying to teach you from these shows. Another thing that wasn't accepted in the community was cheating. You know, back in the days, I mean, you have to go back into the past to actually get the right for today. A lot of people don't want to go into the past, except for like slavery, to point out to other people. Well, that's another subject. But you have to go back into the past to see, you know, where we started to go wrong. And back in the past, where there was, you know, grandmothers and grandpas that were actually getting married where they were younger and lasting for, you know, 60, 70 years. You know, they got married at like 16, 17, 18, and they were married for 60, 70 years. And we look and say, man, you know, they were married for a long time. And I love that they were married. But if you were back in those days and you were found, I'm not saying there wasn't a lot of cheating or anything, but if you were found as a cheater, you know, people would, you know, that was wrong. It was wrong back in the day. They used to have labels for people. If you stepped into a household and messed that up in any type of way by sleeping with one of those people, you were known as a homewrecker. There was a name behind you, and it was an evil name that nobody wanted to be around. You know, if you were labeled as a homewrecker, that was like, we gotta stay away from you. You're not allowed in my house because I don't know what type of things you're gonna bring around, or how my husband or my wife is gonna look at you. And you know, we scolded the wrongdoing, and you know, it kept going. And the more divorces that were happening, and the more that it went into this mold, that more people were doing it and being found for doing it, it became accepted in the community that this is what's going to happen. It's always been around, but it was a consequence behind it. So there was less and less of it actually being done. But today, in 2018, it's actually being labeled as our culture. A lot of men are stepping out of their houses to go cheat with other women. And a lot of women are stepping out of the house to cheat with other men. And we're labeling, you know, we got labels for them, you know, side chick, side dude, but there's no consequence behind it. Nobody's saying, like, this is the type of person I don't want to allow in my house, you know, trying to fix my as I'm trying to make a relationship that lasts forever, because a lot of relationships aren't lasting forever. But, you know, who wants to, I think it's so wrong that we are accepting it as our culture because our kids are going to see it and they're going to think it's okay. But the real thing is, who wants to teach their daughters that they have to accept another woman possibly being in their relationship? Who wants to teach their daughters that they may not have a relationship? They might just be the side chick of a relationship. Like nobody wants to actually teach their kids that. Who wants to teach their sons, like, you might not get this woman, but accept that you're gonna be a side dude? Or, hey man, you might have a side dude in your relationship. Accept your woman might have that going on. Like, nobody wants to accept that. Nobody wants to teach their kids that, and that is wrong. But we're accepting it as a culture, as becoming our culture. You can look on Facebook and you look in movies, and there'll be a person that always looks with a side eye, for somebody else. They're in a relationship, and I mean that has been the theme of movies. Like if you're in love with somebody, or if you're in a relationship with somebody and you love somebody else, go be with that somebody else. I don't agree that that should be the case. I understand that people love, and that sometimes you're not really, you have feelings for somebody else, but you get to choose today who you want to be with. And it's wrong for you to sit here and drag someone along in a relationship because you don't want to be lonely, or you don't want to be without them, and you want to be with somebody else. It's wrong to have it that way, and we've accepted that. And it's wrong for us to be accepting that. I think we should change that. I think we should actually look at ourselves and say this is not right in our community. If we're not going to teach that to our kids that this is the way, we shouldn't be doing it. Because the one thing that I feel like we do as adults is look at our kids and expect them to not be as smart as what they're going to be. So we do things and we think that because they're young, that they're not going to be able to figure out who was actually doing wrong in that situation. We don't figure out that, once a daughter grows up, even as a man, if we're out here sleeping with numerous women and we're not married in a relationship treating women right, that our daughters are going to be smart enough to label us as the no good dudes. She can't go to you and actually ask you advice about what to do about this situation because she looks at you just like the other dudes. We can't look at a mother that has two guys walking in and out of the house on how a man should treat us, and if she only wants to be with one guy because she sees you with two different dudes. She don't see you the same. So we don't get the image that we are wanting to accept. We're not doing the things that we want our kids to accept. I definitely don't want, I've been down the road. The reason that I'm trying to start this show is because I've been down the wrong road. And I don't want my kids to walk down the same road that I walked down. I don't want them to look at the situation and say, well, my dad is out here doing this. My dad is out here doing that. So I can't talk to him about how a guy should be treating a lady. I can't talk to my dad about how I should be treating a woman, if this is right and if this is wrong, because he don't even know. Because he's out there worried about his doing. And then have my sons looking and saying, well, this is what I should do to women because my dad is doing it. Or how I should be, or what my daughter's saying, well, I gotta accept this because I guess that's part of society and look at what my dad's doing. So I want to change that, and I'm trying to get other people to learn that we have to change that too because they're on their way. Time goes by so fast. If you talk to people, if you look at yourself, I mean, yesterday you were in high school. I mean, if you're at the age of 30, 31 like me, I'm 31 years old. Yesterday you were in high school. It flashed right before your eyes. Everything goes so fast. And, you may have a kid that's 7 right now, but in time they'll be 16, 17, 18. Now they're stepping out into that mode. So now everything that you taught them is going to be what they think. They're going to have that option to take that route. So if we're teaching them the wrong things, and the more things, it's not going to be what we say, it's going to be what we were doing. And that's going to be an option that they have. And we want to treat them the right option because some people might not know things. I didn't know how to be a husband because I wasn't around or I wasn't known